Hello everybody, thanks for watching. This is Michael Sherman Gardening, Woodworking and More. I guess this would be considered the and more part. But we're going to be making Zwieback. It's a Mennonite recipe that's been in my family for a long time. So we have 2 packets of dry yeast right here. We have a teaspoon and a half of salt, half cup lukewarm water. This is a 1/4 cup sugar, 1 cup of shortening. I used, I've done butter before, I've done lard only, I've done half butter, half lard. My grandmother did half margarine, half lard, which is what I'm using today. And then 7 cups of flour and 2 cups of milk. And that's all the ingredients. So first thing we need to do is to bloom the yeast. So we dump in the yeast in the warm water, like between 100 and 100 and, I don't know, 108, depends on who you ask, but just lukewarm. Oh, it's gonna be cooler now, but it says it's 98 right now, so that's not bad. It was 106 or something when I first started it. So you dissolve the yeast in there, and then you cover it and wait, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes or so, to see if it blooms. It'll be like bubbly, really foamy, like foam, almost like a head on a mug of beer or something like that. I like to get it all dissolved in there. Okay, if your water is warm enough, it'll dissolve pretty fast. If it's a little bit cold, it'll take much longer to dissolve in cold water. So you want them, not cold, but not as warm. So always better to have it warm. If you use instant yeast, you can skip this part. You don't need to proof your yeast if it's instant yeast. So that's basically the main difference between yeast. Active dry, you have to rehydrate it, let it bloom, make sure it's okay. And then instant yeast, you just throw it in the recipe, it should be good. So I'll leave the spoon in there. Get some saran wrap or plastic wrap. Oop, it's not gonna work. Don't you love saran wrap? It's awesome stuff. All right, so put this on here. Cover it, and let it sit for 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, and we're back. So here's the proofed yeast. Undo it here. See how it got kind of foamy? I don't even see the foam. Let's see here. Can you see the foam? See the foam? It's all bubbly and foamy. That's kind of what you're looking for. So this one's active. It's foamy. Bubbles. Not a lot, but it's got enough. So, ew, it smells wonderful. I love the smell of yeast. It smells amazing. All right, so then this, I melted the shortening, and I added a half a cup of this milk in the shortening. And it says to, let me grab this over here. Melted sugar and salt in the mixing bowl. So here's sugar and salt. Okay. And then you got pour the hot milk mixture over that. Okay, so here's a hot milk butter mixture. Okay. I'll put this over by the sink. And stir that. So let's stir this. Stir all that up here. This is kind of warm. And then after it's stirred up here, add the remaining 1.5 cup milk, which is right here, which will cool it off. Okay. And then it says add the yeast. So we're gonna add the yeast to this. I'm gonna give that a good stir. Make sure this is all yeast in there. Okay. Then you add the flour. So I'm going to take you over to the mixer for that. I'm going to stir this and then come back and get it on the mixer. Okay, we're over by the mixer now. I just set this on there, stirred up really good. Let's get that up and then turn this on low. Add 6 cups of flour slowly. Let that stir up for a minute. Oh, this is bread flour I'm using. You can use all-purpose. The recipe, my grandmother uses bread flour for this. All-purpose will work fine too. It just, with bread flour, you get a little bit finer texture. Just scrape the edges a little bit here. Let that stir up a little bit. I have roughly another cup and a half to go or so. Now this roll has a very strong yeast flavor, very yeasty. If you like the smell or like the flavor of yeast, it's excellent. Now for the remaining cup you have, roughly a cup or so, this is a little more than a cup, but for the remainder, you'd want to just kind of make sure that it's, you're looking for texture. You want it soft, but not super sticky, not really that sticky. So you're looking for texture. I'll try to see if I can somehow have the texture show up on camera a little bit. It's better to err on the side of a little soft than overly, than have it heavy on the flour, than too stiff. So better to err on the side of soft. A little more. It's a little, see, it's a little bit soft, a little too soft still. Add a little more in there. This is good. This is pretty good. I think I'm done. It's a little soft. Doesn't stick to your hands. You know, my hands are not floured, no flour. And it doesn't stick at all to my hands, and it's soft and pliable. This is about perfect. So I ended up using only 6.5 cups or so. See, there's some in there left. I didn't use all 7 cups. It kind of depends on a lot of stuff. You know, sometimes how your flour is compacted. If you sift your flour, if you don't sift your flour. I did not sift my flour, so that could be why, you know. Because when you sift flour, it aerates it more, separates it all, so it's more fluffy. I didn't do that, so that, you know, mine was more compact. And that could be why I have a lot more left over. So this is good. I'm going to leave it like that. Take it off here. And because we're going to be kneading it a little bit later. Oh, you know what? I need to, never mind. I got to knead it a little more. I got to leave it on for about, it says knead for 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. So I'm going to leave it on for 5 minutes. All right. So that's it. And what I do is I get a little bit of cooking spray. I don't like doing dishes, right? I don't. Who likes doing dishes? I don't have a machine. I don't like to do dishes, so I just take this off here. Take this off here, and you got to put it into a bowl, a buttered bowl, right? So I take this out. Oh wait, hold on a minute. First, undo the lid, so it's ready to go. Take this out. I hold it in my hand. Don't really need a lot of butter in this because this is a pretty buttery dough. And I form this into a ball. If I can get this into a ball here. It's a really soft dough, but you want it soft. You don't want it too hard, you know? You want it really, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a really, oh, that's far. Hold on, let's see here. It's a really soft dough. It still holds together, but it's not, you know, it'll run on you. You know, it'll kind of slowly melt, sort of. So put that in. I cover it and I let it rise for, what is it, an hour and a half, something like that. Let's see. Rise for hour and a half. And that's what we're gonna do. So I won't put you through the torture of watching it rise, but that'd be cool. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So it rose for about an hour, actually about an hour and 10 minutes. But as you can see, it's pretty full. It's touching the top, so it doubled or more. So we're gonna punch this down. We're gonna shape it into the shape that my grandmother used. And and then we'll let them rise again. So let's get started on this. Oh, forgot the rubber band on there. I keep a rubber band on there so it keeps it on there. All right, so beautiful, beautiful. Okay, almost dropped that one. All right, so for shaping this, we're gonna make little balls, two sizes, one larger, one smaller. Stack one on the other one, the smaller one on top, and then you poke a hole through the center, dipping my finger in flour. So let's show you how that's done. You know, the ball size is approximate, but you basically take it, squeeze a little ball. It's about right. It's about right. For
these balls were a little bit
bottom size.
Too big.
So I like to squeeze out.
So make them a little smaller, maybe 1/3 less.
If you want to, if they're not very smooth, you can kind of smooth them out a little bit. You know, my technique is not perfect on this. And honestly, I get a little bit lazy. But it works best if you start with a smooth surface, take it, and just squeeze a little bit out. That gives you the ball shape, roughly. My grandmother was much better at this than I was. She taught me, but I'm a slow learner. All right, that one's a little big, but that's right. So next one, so small. Takes a lot of practice and doing it all the time. This was a staple, I guess, in the Mennonite families. They'd make it all the time. My grandmother made it all the time. We weren't really practicing Mennonites, but from what I gather, you know, this recipe's in our family. So, my technique's not the best. I could do this, kind of shape it. Depends how much work you want to put into it. You know, that one's kind of big, but you could kind of. Let's see if I can do this. There you go. More of a ball. So those are kind of big. I need to make them smaller, shrink them down a little bit. They're a little big. I mean, they're fine. The size is really a preference. It doesn't have to be. I'm just trying to go off of how my grandmother made it, you know? Because anything else isn't quite the same. But you can do this, kind of smooth out the ball.
You could divide the dough in half, because you're going to make half larger sections, half smaller sections. I didn't do that. You just have to eyeball it. You can always make more of each one with the leftovers, so it doesn't really, not that important. Let's try to zoom in here.
Get you a better picture of that. So we can get you. Okay, so I'll try to zoom in a little bit and show you this. Take a section and just kind of push a little bit and squeeze some out. They're not coming out very smooth, are they? That's right. So here, maybe my technique, my finger technique is not the best. Like, that might be better. So if you get it with the seams, it's not that great here. All right, that one's full. Let me grab the other tray. Fill this one up. Makes about 2 trays. Zoom back out again. There you go. Bum bum. Okay. I like to fold the slack in my parchment. Instead of cutting it, I just fold it. Fold it there, fold it about there, and flip it. That works, right? That's good. All right, so let's do this here.
That was a little big. It's been a while since I made these. And last time I made them, they came out okay. They weren't the best. This one, honestly, the dough is like perfect. This is exactly how you want the dough. It's pliable, not sticky. This is about perfect. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's spread it out a little better. They do expand quite a bit, so you want to give them a little bit of space. Goodness. Alright. Piece of pepper or something. Alright. Very nice. So, however you want to shape them. And my technique is kind of weird. It's coming out not quite like balls. I don't know. More like rounded strips, but anyway. Let's see. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, like that. Anyway.
Okay, so that's that, and then you work on the smaller ones. We'll do these. Quite a bit smaller. That might be on the big side, but anyway. These you want to make sure they're pretty smooth. And you can pinch down to the bottom. Looks pretty smooth. Then you roll your finger in some flour, put it on top, poke it to the bottom, and there's your shape. That's kind of big. That's kind of big. I'm gonna run out of dough if I keep making them like that. So if you run out of dough, you know, not a big deal. You can always adjust, take some, or you know, you'll end up with an odd number, but generally this makes about 2 trays.
Actually, this should be about 3 trays, but since I made them too large, it only made 2 trays.
Sure, these are a little bit more shaped better. Try to get them centered, because if they're not centered, they can they'll slide off. They'll kind of like lay over, and you'll have like a lopsided roll. And then after this, oh, that's horrible. That one's bad. That's a bad circle. Okay. After you get done with these, you'll let them rise again for another 30 to 45 minutes. And call it done. That one's a little big. Zoom in a little bit. Show you what I'm doing here. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, show you what we're doing here. Get a ball for you here on top, and just put your finger through it. How's that lighting? It's not bad. Okay. I'm not the best videographer here. Let me try something momentarily. Give you some more light. Hey, that looks better. More light. That looks pretty good. Anyway, all right. So better, more light. Finger in flour, just a little bit of flour. Put it on, poke it all the way through. Flour, poke it through. Okay, that tray's done. I'm gonna set that aside. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. There you go. All right, so I'm trying to make these balls better. I don't know why, but I can't. I used to make them better, but for some reason I lost my touch. Takes a little bit more work to get them round, and they're never quite round. Not sure why. Let's see. Yeah, just gotta. Okay, well, that's good. You know, they taste good. That's the important part, right? If they look good, that's important. But also, if they taste good. That guy's gonna be a big guy right there. So, if they vary in size, they're gonna be still pretty consistent when you bake them. They don't vary that much. They're pretty consistent. So that's one good thing. That one came out pretty good. That ain't bad. I'm not sure what I did different, but hey, that one's pretty good. I'll take it. That's about perfect right there. That one's really good. Smooth on both. Oh, that one, look at that. That's perfect right there. That's what you want. Right there. Man, if I can do that every time, I'd be doing good. Like that. So you take it, push them out like that. I'm getting better. All right, I'm getting the hang of this, I think. They're getting kind of big. You need to make them a little smaller. They're getting a little on the big side. Push it out. So I'm running out of dough, but I think I'll have enough to finish this. Should have enough. That's all I have left. So I should be able to finish this here. Squish it out. That one's a little bit lopsided, but you know, what can you do? I guess I won't do super speed. Maybe I'll do a little bit. But you can, if you got this part down, you can fast forward. It's the beauty of technology. When you have these rise, you want to keep an eye on them. Make sure they don't get too big, and sometimes they'll slide off. They're kind of like slide over. They get too heavy. So that's, I got one more ball to make, and I got this much dough. You know, it's definitely too big to use it all, and it's too small for another piece. So. Oh well, that's all. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna put some plastic wrap over the top. And, oh, where's my plastic wrap? Up here, all right. In the wrong spot. You don't have to seal them. Hopefully this works. This plastic wrap is not exactly the best thing to use. It's kind of a pain to use, actually. And these are big trays, so it doesn't quite cover well. Close enough, right? I mean, you just gotta cover them so they don't get too dry. I'll do that to the other one. Oops. And that's it for now. We'll be back when they're in about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Okay, they've risen up. I'm gonna throw them in the oven here. Let's see if I can do this, move this cart. Like I said, I'm not, gonna turn the light on. What? There we go. All right, oven time. Hello. All right, so here's the oven. Let's see if it's in it. Anyway, you get the idea. It's going in the oven. 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. There. And the other one. That's my timer going off. And a couple fall over I tried to fix. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully they don't fall over anymore. Alright. Light on. And we'll be back in 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, they're done. It was a fail. I made them too big and a lot of them fell over. So here's one. I already took one tray out. I'll show you those. But here it is. These are done. They're gonna taste really good. They're perfectly cooked, golden brown, beautiful. But they're gonna be set that down on the wood real fast. They're gonna be, see, they fell over. This one fell over. It fell over. I made them too big. They should be a little bit less. I made 2 trays out of that batch, and it should have been 3 trays. As you can see, these did a little bit better. I mean, see those? They did okay. Basically, this is kind of how they're supposed to look, this guy right here. But, yeah, I made them too big. I often do that. Let me set you up here real fast. I can't do this with one hand, or 2 hands. So, let's see here. Hold on a minute. Get you up on here. Alright, so, they're really hot. Right out of the oven. But they are very good rolls. I'm gonna test one out. Gosh, I like to pick the ugly ones. See, this is about perfect. That's what they should look like. You know, not, you know, pretty centered, not bent over, not falling over. Anyway, yeah, a lot of these fell over. Pretty horrible. And that one, look at that, awful, awful. So we'll try again. Ow, gosh, these are hot. So, in any event, you pull them apart, the top off. You pull the top off to eat them. This one's more like the side. But they're very good, very soft inside. Ouch. Gotta let them cool off a little bit. And if you open it up, they're very soft inside. Very good. They're gonna taste amazing. But they're very hot, so. Anyway, that's them, Zwieback. Excellent, excellent roll. In my opinion, really, really good roll. They should be more popular than they are. They're probably not as popular because they're kind of a lot of work to make. But the dough, I mean, you could use the same recipe for the dough and make just buns, you know, in an oven. You can do that, and they'll taste pretty much the same. Right here. They're very good. You don't really need any butter for these. They're pretty rich in that regard. But you can butter them also, but they're really tasty. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'm gonna try to send this to Joshua Wiseman, I think his name is. He's a bread guy. He does a lot of stuff, but he's cool. I really enjoy his channel. And I'd like to have him try to make these. I'll send him the recipe or tag him in this video. If you guys can tag him in this video, if you know him or something, that'd be awesome. I'd like to have him make these. I'm sure they're gonna be a lot better than mine. Anyway, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Maybe we'll see the other ones that are better when I make them.